and they had JFK on. I wanted to get just a little conversation with you. I wanted to tell you about my story. Okay, let me get comfy here. I got a call from Max, and he said, "Did you hear what happened?" What's bizarre was that I was thinking about that yesterday in the morning. Want to share my water? I'm drinking water. There you go. It's got a few bubbles in it. Cheers. I need the water. Well, let's have an intimate conversation, okay? I don't know how this video is going to turn out. I'm in a different position. I'm in my little corner here. And, yeah, I wanted to get just a little conversation with you, because I know a lot of you are feeling what I'm feeling today. Well, I didn't get much sleep last night, probably 4 hours. And I laid and I thought, and then I started crying again. And I thought, well, I got to get up because I'm in my night spot and I'm going to go ahead and get to my day spot. I haven't, I know, well, I'm a little tired, but I wanted to talk to you because I love you guys. So I didn't get much sleep last night. I stayed up late talking to a couple friends about what happened yesterday. And it doesn't matter really where you are, on what side you're on. It was a very sad day yesterday. Well, can I tell you about it? I mean, I know everybody's going to have their own story, but I wanted to tell you about my story. Okay, let me get comfy here. Well, I got this really cool letter, a comment from a young guy in California. And it was so cool. I thought, well, I want to do a video on this. It was a long letter about he's a nomad in California. So I pulled some stuff together and I talked about what the time that I was in California also, about 4 years ago, and the whole summer, a whole season I spent along the Pacific coast. So I was going back into some of my videos and screenshotting, and was going to offer some of that with me actually at the Pacific coast at the beaches. Okay. So, and this, I'll get back to this person. So I was spending a lot of time on this video, and it got to be around, well, let me go back just a second. I was watching in between, when I was like making breakfast and things. I turned on PBS documentaries on Prime Video, the live TV section, and they had JFK on. And it was a huge documentary, a two-parter, and I didn't get all the way to the second part because I only have so much time. I'm pretty busy with videos and things. But I was watching, and I was really amazed at it. There was a lot I didn't know. I knew most things about John F. Kennedy, but they showed him his personality, what he was like when he was younger. And I was really amazed at that. And then I talked to a friend, and I was telling him about it. And he was like really interested. He likes to listen to what I have to say. So I was mentioning that I was 10 years old when he was assassinated. And of course, whenever I talk about that, it clicks in. And I know a lot of you, I mean, younger people, even Gen X, they didn't experience that. But if you're a boomer, you did. You experienced him being shot. Yes, and we all remember where we were when we found out. I was coming home from school, and my brother had been sent home from school because he got in a fight. Now, let me get this straight. My brother was a straight A student. He was the one who was going to go to college, and he was forced to be a good student. I mean, he ended up being an engineer, so yeah, it was good for him. Yeah, us girls, we were going to be secretaries and have babies, you know. So that was shocking. When I came home, And I knew something was wrong. There was a lot wrong. Yeah. I had to restart this. Yeah. I got a message that said that your storage is full. So I had to, let me do a little, ooh. I have not combed my hair. I did put lipstick on and some blush and a little bit of eyeliner so you could see my eyes. As we get older, we lose our eyelashes. And yeah. Okay, so, okay. So, you know, when I got home, then my mother told me that my brother was suspended from school for fighting, which was shocking. I was like, huh? What? My brother's not a fighter. He's a brainiac, you know? So, and then she told me, I forget how she said it, but she let me know that President Kennedy was dead. He had been shot. And my world kind of turned upside down. I had to process it, just like we have to process what happened yesterday for a lot of us. And even if you were happy about what happened yesterday, you still had to process it. And you'll still be processing it. But wow. So I was talking to my friend about JFK yesterday. And he's like, wow, that must have, he's a little bit younger. And he goes, wow, that must have been really something. And it was. And I remember I watched him, I watched Oswald in real time on TV. I know a lot of us did. Some of us didn't catch it as it happened live, right? Because maybe you watched the footage after. But on live, I saw at age 10, Oswald gets shot by Jack Ruby in real time. That was live. And we kind of lost our innocence at that point. And so the reason I'm telling you this about JFK is because I saw what's bizarre was that I was thinking about that yesterday in the morning, late morning, as I was working on my video and I was talking to my friend about it. Yeah, bizarre. Okay, so I'm working on my video. I was almost done with it at 2 o'clock. I got a call from Max, and he said, did you hear what happened? And, of course, I'm like, what? You know, everything was running through my mind, and I was like, what happened? What? Because he called me, and he told me that Charlie Kirk had been shot, assassinated, and he was dead. And previously, I had just thought about JFK being assassinated. And literally, my adrenaline and everything I could feel the tingle in my body. It was very weird. I wonder, let me know in comments what you experienced. And if you were happy about it, please don't tell me anything like that. Yeah. So, and then I will mention that it was appropriate for Max to let me know. Because last year at this time, I think it was the end of September, we were in Flagstaff and we went to NAU and saw Charlie Kirk. Yeah, we were kind of behind the scenes, but the students, I was so intrigued with all the students. They were talking to Max and I, and we were talking to them, and they were just so cool. We went into NAU. We had coffee previously. We were kind of staking out where we wanted to be, and so we were behind Charlie Kirk. You know, his curtain there that he has, but there were a lot of security there. I was actually like, wow, I guess he would need security, you know. And but we stayed and we listened to him. And I still see on social media some of the footage from that time. I remember a couple people that came up to speak. Cheers. So it was devastating for Max and I. And it was appropriate that he let me know what happened. So one of the reasons I need water is I did a lot. I was crying yesterday and in the night. Then I broke it to my friend Julia. Hey, Julia, I love you so much. And I broke it to her because she works the graveyard. And I knew she was still sleeping. And I knew she wasn't. She would have messaged me right away and said, I know, or whatever. But I didn't hear from her for 2-3 hours until at that time. Then I got a message and she says, oh my gosh. And then she's been crying too. Of course, she had to work through the night. And I messaged her as soon as I woke up too, because I knew she was working. And she says, yeah, she goes, I think because I went to sleep finally around 11, my head was throbbing because of, when you cry a lot, you lose water. And then you do, because you do lose water. I looked it up, you lose water and it makes your head kind of, and then the act of actually crying and being so upset can make your brain throb. So anyways, I'm just drinking water. I had a cup of coffee, but I'm just drinking water now. So I wanted to get this out to you. Why? Because I know that a lot of you are alone. You're in your homes or you're in your vehicles and you're single. So many of us are isolated. We're single. Not all of us, but a lot of us are single and we're alone. And like, who do we talk to? And so I wanted, and I needed you. I need you as much as you need me right now. Yeah. Yeah. Like, where's our world headed? Yeah, all these questions. I mean, we know where it's headed. And it's a lot. I was so angry last night. I really was. And I felt hate in my heart. Like, ooh, it's okay. I don't feel like, it's like righteous indignation. And a lot of people, I was going through social media, a lot of people were feeling that, and you might be feeling it now. But I wanted to tell you about my day because it was so bizarre. Now, today is September 11th. Yeah, yesterday was really bizarre. Because here's another reason why. I told you in the beginning, I told you about that young fella who messaged me. And he's kind of new on the channel. And so I thought, well, this was really good stuff, what he was telling me. He's a Christian. And he's having a good time in California. He's a nomad. He's got lots of friends. They surf, blah, blah, blah. Well, so I didn't put my video out yesterday because it was done. But I thought, no, it's not appropriate. People that would be watching, most of you, will be upset. And I don't want to, interfere with that. Well, I'm glad I did. Because I put out a post on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook that said, it had a picture of Charlie Kirk. And it said, I saw him last year with Max. And I just feel bad, prayers for his family, his wife and 2 children, which kind of coincide with John F. Kennedy. I mean, he left 2 very small children behind. Not as small, but small nonetheless. I think Carolyn, what was she, like 5? And John Jr. was only like 3. Remember when he stood there in the funeral? Oh. Well, anyways, I got a message from the same guy in California. And it was on the post. And I'm not friends with him on Facebook, but I put it on YouTube. And he basically said, in so many words, he got what he deserved. Oh my gosh. And I thought, that's what's another bizarro. It was like a bizarre day. John F. Kennedy, then Charlie Kirk. Then this guy I'm doing a video on, and he seems so wonderful. And then he said something like that. He didn't say it in so many words, but that's what he was saying. And he said, and then he quoted a Bible scripture, and I thought, I just said, that's disgusting. And then I reposted again, and I said, basically, no. I said I was going to put a video out and feature you, but no, not now. Then he commented, he goes, well, no, I love your channel. I just, and then he starts saying things about politics and God and Jesus. Oh my gosh. No. Not on my watch, not on my channel. So you can see the paradox of it. You never know somebody. You never know who they are by first speaking to them. Or they've got a gift to the gab and they like to offer this wonderful, no. So and it's funny too, because I put out a video and I'm going to put it out. I haven't put it out yet, but I did it on how to have discernment. Somebody asked a question, how do you know who somebody is? Because in the nomad world, we got to learn people right away. I mean, we're not going to see them for very long. And we're not seeing we're seeing their rig. But we really don't know much about them. And we're parked right next to them. And the question was, how do you know who, if somebody's a predator in the nomad world? And so I did a video, and I'm going to put that out pretty soon. But it really did. Now that's even more bizarre. It is really appropriate that I get that out, because you don't know right off the bat. And in the nomad world, we have to discern quickly. Do we want to be friends with this person? Do we want to give them our number? Do we want to let them know who we are? How much do we want to share? Because in the nomad world, van life, you have to discern quickly. And if it's a person you really want to connect with, you got to know right away, because they're going to leave pretty soon, probably. Because we're nomads. Do we want to share a life with this person? So we have to look for signs about them. So I talk about that. But that was a bizarro day. And then to add on, I went to the store, I had to pick something up, and I went to use one of my debit cards, and I couldn't find it. And I remembered the day before that somehow I left it, but nobody turned it in, which I thought was surprising. So immediately I checked my bank. Has anybody been using my card? Well, nobody did. So I called, and it was a business debit card, Minivan Lee Productions. I got nowhere. They asked me, well, what was the 3-digit number on the back of your card? And I said, are you serious? I don't have my card, and that's something I don't memorize. I'm sorry, but I've got 2 cards. I don't memorize them. And I was an hour and a half on the phone with that, and I still didn't get what I wanted. They just couldn't identify who I was, if I was the right person. So I do need to go into a branch and deal with them there. Yeah, it was bizarro yesterday. Oh my gosh. So I just there's going to be a whole grieving atmosphere going on, the energy. And a lot of people in other countries are really upset about this too. To just have a sniper, it was a sniper. To take, and he wasn't a violent person. I mean, he was a Christian, a very strong Christian. So we all know where he is, okay? But he left behind a wife and 2 very small children. And I just can't imagine what they're going through. Just like Jackie and her kids, Carolyn and John Jr., going through. I mean, once she goes home, she has to face his closet with the clothes in it, his shoes. Yeah. I mean, we know that he is okay. And he's where he should be. He's in paradise right now with Jesus. But she's not. And it breaks her heart. And it was over something so, it doesn't make sense. Well, it does. I mean, you kind of know it does make sense. But it's so sad. And I think the world is like in shock right now. So let me know, are you in shock? Are you, if you're laughing about it, no, I don't want to hear about it. And if I do, I'll get rid of it. I really will, because there comes a point where we have to stand up, no matter what the cost. He did. That was a cost that he paid a price for us. And that was a cost that he took. And we all need to be a little bit more brave. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of this going on. People aren't going to be silent anymore. They're just not. We cannot live in a world where we can't express our opinions and we feel afraid. You know, it's almost as if, it is. It's almost. No, it is. The lines have been drawn, everybody. Yeah. And whatever side you're on, that line's been drawn. Now, I'm all about van life. I'm all about helping anybody, no matter what side, to learn how to live in a vehicle if that's what you need to do, or if you want to. But there's so many of us who need to do it. And we want to feel safe. There's so many things going on. Yeah. What about that Ukrainian girl? Oh my gosh. And all these things are starting to add up. Yeah. Are we safe? I know that you say be safe out there. I feel really safe. I really, really do feel safe. I'm glad I don't live in a house right now. I'm glad I can move where I need to move to. My suitcase is always packed, and I can move. Yeah. So this video is helping me too. If you, let me know in comments, how did you hear about it? What did you feel? What did you think? Because I know a lot of people are Christians that watch me. And a lot of you live in homes. You're watching on TVs. I know that. Thank you. I need you as much as you need me. Ask me questions. Let me know what you're up to. We're going to have to support each other coming up, right? Oh my gosh. Now, I did talk to Max this morning. He called. And he says, no, they haven't found the person yet. But we'll always have, like to say, we'll always have Paris, yeah. We'll always have, Charlie Kirk, Max and I, although we have so much in common. And we're just really, really, we're like best buddies. And we have so much in common. And because we've known each other now for, I'd say 6 years. Yeah, 6 years, almost exactly. He knew me before I even started my channel. I met him, and so we have a lot in common. We have a lot of the same views, and we'll always have Charlie Kirk together. That was so fun last year at this time. So let's see what else. Oh, I know what else I wanted to say, and I know that you're going to have the same experiences. I was 10 when JFK was shot. But the worst was the funeral. We were all sitting in the living room, and I was sitting on the floor. I'm still sitting on the floor. I'm just a floor sitter. I'm what they call a little rug rat, right? Well, I was a snotty mess. I was bawling so hard. I mean, like yeah. And I was the only one. Other people were crying, but I must have been at that very impressionable age, and it touched me beyond. And I mean, I had to go get Kleenexes. I had snot running out of my nose. I couldn't speak. Oh my God. And there was a point where I had to get control in my life. Like every time I would think of that, I would start crying. And I thought, well, wait a minute, I got to be in better control. I want to test out my theories of the past emotions. If we can take the emotions out of it, then we can like think about that. It's kind of like fear of flying. If you could take the emotion out of it and just go through it. And I was fine after that. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. I was fine. But then, oh my gosh, last night I just kept thinking about, when I was watching JFK, there was this, it was like almost like a premonition. I think that's what it was. It was a premonition. Yeah. And I almost wanted to cry yesterday before I even knew about Charlie. And then when I found out, it all made sense. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're all going to feel what we feel. There's an energy going around. There'll be an energy. It's like a frequency. We're all, so many of us, at least half of us in the United States, are feeling what I'm feeling, right? I know a lot of you are, that there's going to be this kind of a frequency. When something like that happens, it sort of puts a veil over, it's an energy. We are electric. We are energy. If they put, like in the Matrix, if they put us all together and put cords and put wires on us, we could light up the world with our energy. So we have all of this, and it's flowing. Yes, it's flowing, and there's going to be some changes coming up. So we need to. Okay, I'm just saying, we need to look up. Okay, we really, 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 really do. We got to carry on, but we got to get just a little bit more, like the wheat and the tares. What side are you on? What side are you really on? So, and I don't want to just sell books, but I do have three, I have 3 books, 3 books. And I wrote this year, one is this Simple Christian Life, the Simple Christian Life. I have another one, Come Soon, Come Quickly. That's my more recent one on God. And then I also have Mighty Me, Messy Me, Messy Me, Mighty God. Yeah, that's a really good one. That's got. What I did was I put 30 messages in there. They're short little stories that have to do with life and scripture, that coincide. Messy Me, Mighty God. It's for all ages. And then when you're done for the month, you can go and start all over again. But the Simple Christian Life is a really good one. It talks about how simple it really can be, because it really is a simple message. And Come Soon, Come Quickly. It's got everything in there about prophecy. Yeah, from scripture. Now, this A Simple Christian Life, it has a lot of scripture at the end. Scripture I've memorized that I wanted to share with you. And some basic principles that maybe you forgot about, and I wanted to remind you. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 books. They're on Amazon, and they're really not expensive. So it's a way to support me if you want to do that. Okay, I'll end this. This is just like a little vlog. Yeah, but it's also about van life too, because a lot of us are in vans. And we need to be inspired. Yeah. So, I love you guys a lot. I really do. Thanks for being with me. And I might lose a few subscribers over this. It happens. But I have to be true to who I am. And that's the way it is. Let me know in comments what you think. Bye now.